Yo, what up, y'all? We're back. Another one, Tiny Office. Back off a fresh KO this time. Shout out to the W. Shout out to the team. Just wanted to put that out there. And yeah, we're back here with UFC 298, Tiny Office. Banger fights for y'all. Banger fights, you already know. Today we got something special. I'm giving you 3 fights instead of 2. So we're just gonna kick it off. Let's kick it off with the very first fight that I'm low-key most interested in. Ian Garry versus Geoff Neal. Welterweight division, my favorite division, happens to be my division. Let's talk about it. First, let's talk about Geoff Neal. Geoff Neal seems to have like massive big power in his left hand. The guy has been having some ups and downs lately only because of his health, but we do know when he does show up 100%, dude is a firecracker, the dude has power, the dude has just great way of getting in the pocket and dealing massive, massive damage. Now, let's talk about Ian Garry. Ian Garry, to me, is still a little green, but the dude has a ton of potential. He has a great range management. He's long. He has great shot selection, good striking. In the grappling department, I think Geoff Neal is a lot stronger and has a lot better wrestling. But at the same time, I do think that Geoff Neal also can crack if he gets on the inside. The question is, can Ian Garry maintain that distance the entire fight and do what we saw Wonder Boy do to Geoff Neal? And if the answer is no, and he can't maintain that distance, I do think that Geoff Neal gets on the inside and cracks Ian Garry for the TKO finish. So my pick, I'm going with Geoff Neal to get the job done. All right, next fight. Robert Whittaker versus Paulo Costa. Man, this fight right here, it seems as if Paulo Costa can't get it together for the longest. It's been crazy just trying to get him into the octagon. But this time, seems as if it's gonna work out. He's gonna be in the octagon and he's facing a legend in the game in Robert Whittaker, someone in the game who's known to be able to do it all when it comes to the mixed martial arts and blending it. For me, I'm looking at Robert Whittaker's last fight as something where he underestimated, in my opinion, maybe he underestimated Duplessis, and we've come to find out that Duplessis is an actual problem in the division. I do think that Robert Whittaker is going to come correct in this one, and I think that he just does a better job of mixing it than Paulo Costa does. But listen, Paulo Costa, great striking, tough bruiser coming forward, big power, and he's in your face the entire time. But Robert Whittaker, I believe, can mix it up more and just blend the arts better together. So just because of that, I'm just going with Robert Whittaker. I think Robert Whittaker mixes it up so much more better than Paulo Costa can, and I think he gets the job done. All right, on to the next fight. The main event, the fight that everyone is here to see, Ilia Topuria versus, I would say, a future Hall of Famer in Volkanovski. This fight is interesting to me. I got so much to say about this fight. I feel so many ways about this fight, and every day before this, I've been being pulled in a different direction. One day I'm like Volk, the next day I'm like Ilia. The fight is so closely contested, it's very hard to pick, but today I've made up my mind and I've watched film. I'm gonna say I watched hours of film trying to figure out who to pick, and let me just get right into it. Ilia Topuria has amazing boxing. He is the younger guy. He does also have great wrestling. Don't get me wrong, he has amazing wrestling. But Volkanovski is not known for his wrestling, but I do think that his wrestling is just as good as Ilia Topuria's, if not better. The issue is when we see guys that can grapple really well, they tend to kind of cancel each other out. And I do think that there will be some grappling exchanges. And I can't say who I think is gonna win that grappling exchange, but I do think that whoever wins that first grappling exchange will dictate how this fight plays out, if there are any winners of that first grappling exchange. In my opinion, I think that what we can see happen is they cancel each other out and this fight becomes a stand-up battle. And in the stand-up battle, we know Volk can do it all, man. Volk can mix it up, he's a beast, he can do everything. But when it comes to pure boxing, I'm going with Ilia Topuria. I think Ilia Topuria has the ability to put away Volkanovski when it comes to the inside work. They're both gonna be on the inside because they're both shorter fighters, but in those exchanges, in those fast-paced exchanges, I do see Ilia Topuria winning those exchanges. So, with that being said, in this fight, my pick is gonna be Ilia Topuria to get the job done, potentially TKO over the legend Alexander Volkanovski. All right, so first pick is gonna be Ian Garry versus Geoff Neal. I'm going Geoff Neal. Second is gonna be Robert Whittaker versus Paulo Costa. I got Robert Whittaker. Lastly, we got Ilia Topuria versus Alex Volkanovski. I'm going to Ilia Topuria to get the job done and new. And that's it for Tiny Office UFC 298. thank you guys for joining me. And yeah, see you guys for another big one. UFC 299, special guest appearance, maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Peace.